Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Current Affairs Hub. Today, we're covering a shocking and troubling event that unfolded in Washington, D.C., just blocks from the White House. A shooting that left two members of the United States National Guard critically wounded. We'll walk you through what happened, who was involved, what we know so far, and why this matters. Let's get started. On Wednesday, November 26th, 2025, around 2:15 in the afternoon, two National Guard members, deployed in Washington, D.C., were shot while on patrol near 17th Street and I Street in W, close to Farragut Square, just a short walk from the White House. Authorities described the attack as a targeted ambush. According to the Metropolitan Police Department's investigation, the suspect, described as a lone gunman, came around a corner, raised a firearm, and opened fire at the guardsmen. Once the shots rang out, other Guard members and law enforcement officers quickly responded. The suspect was shot, then detained, and taken into custody. Emergency services responded immediately. Ambulances, a medevac helicopter, lights, and sirens. The area was swiftly cordoned off, and law enforcement descended on the scene. As of now, both National Guard members remain hospitalized in critical condition. Their identities have not been publicly released. The alleged shooter has been identified by multiple sources as Ramanullah Lakanwal, described as an Afghan national who reportedly entered the U.S. in 2021. Authorities have not publicly confirmed a motive. It remains unclear whether this was a random act or a planned attack targeting the Guard members in particular. Investigation is ongoing as federal and local law enforcement agencies, including the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, probe the circumstances. The suspect was also wounded during the incident and is in custody under medical supervision. To understand why this happened near the White House, we need to step back to earlier this year. Under orders from Donald J. Trump, thousands of National Guard troops were deployed to Washington, D.C., as part of a broader initiative described by the administration as a crime emergency. But just days ago, a federal judge ruled that much of this deployment was likely unlawful, arguing that using National Guard troops for civilian crime deterrence exceeds executive authority when not requested by local authorities. Despite that, the troops remained, and now, after the shooting, the administration has requested deployment of 500 additional Guard members to reinforce security in the Capitol. This incident raises serious questions about security, civil-military roles, and the balance between public safety and rights within the Capitol. Following the shooting, streets around the White House were locked down, buildings secured, and a heavy law enforcement presence established. The city was in shock. Officials from local and national governments condemned the attack. In a statement, the mayor of D.C. called the shooting a targeted attack, reaffirming that violence against service members is unacceptable. The FBI director and federal authorities said this is a matter of national security, promising a full investigation and justice for the victims. At the same time, the request for additional Guard troops has reignited debate over whether deploying military forces for policing duties, especially in the absence of local authority consent, is appropriate or constitutional. This incident is not just an isolated tragedy. It may become a turning point with deep consequences. Security and public safety in D.C. The attack could justify an even greater long-term Guard presence, changing the city's security landscape. Legal and constitutional debate. With the recent court ruling questioning the legality of the deployment, this shooting might complicate the legal battle over the Guard's role in domestic policing. Immigration and refugee policy. Given the suspect's background, the event may fuel renewed scrutiny over refugee vetting and immigration policy at the national level. Public trust and perception. When violence occurs so close to the seat of power, public confidence may be shaken. Citizens, local communities, and even tourists may feel unsafe. Precedent for future crises. The way this is handled, from investigation to policy response, could set a model for responding to similar threats in the future. This shooting is a stark reminder. Nothing is guaranteed. Security in the heart of America's capital, the lives of those who serve, and the delicate balance between protection and freedom all hang in the balance. If you care about what happens next, stay informed. Subscribe to Current Affairs Hub, hit the notification bell, and follow along as we bring you every update, from the investigation to legal developments to policy changes and the wider debate on security, immigration, and civil rights. Let us know in the comments. Do you believe the increased guard presence in D.C. should continue? Or does it undermine civil liberties? What do you think this incident means for national security and immigration policy in the U.S.? Your voice matters. Stay alert, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video.